Good afternoon, it's Roger Gilbert here, publisher of International Aquafeed magazine, and I'm in New Orleans attending the Aquaculture 2019 event that is being held by WAS, the World Aquaculture Society. It's the 50th anniversary and quite a big turnout, and I'm fortunate enough to have come across Dr. Thierry Chopin. He's the professor of marine biology and scientific director at the Canadian Integrated Multitrophic Aquaculture Network, and he's working for the University of New Brunswick in Canada. He is also running his own company, which is called Chopin Coastal Health Solutions. Thierry, welcome. I hear this is you're chairing a session, or you're looking after a session here. But you've also been speaking as well. Can you tell us a bit about both of those things, please?
Yes, this morning I talk about integrated multitrophic aquaculture, and so far we have been working on moving from organic products down to inorganics. But one thing, the next step will be with all these inorganics, we have to incorporate it back into the seaweeds to complete the cycles. So as a matter of fact, is how in a circular economy we go from degrading the organics to inorganics and then reincorporating the inorganics. So this morning that was the talk on seaweeds and aquatic plants when you are in freshwater play a real key role. And tomorrow I will be sharing the session on integrated multitrophic aquaculture. So it's tomorrow afternoon, and we have 9 talks from different people in different parts of the world. And also what is very interesting is IMTA for me is very broad. Sometimes people think, IMTA, it's salmon mussels and kelps. Within the limit of a salmon site, but that's what we could do in Canada with the species that we have and the regulations that we have. But IMTA is much bigger. So as a matter of fact, it's not at the level of a site, but it's at the level of bay management that we have to think. It's not necessarily one company that do everything, but several companies, and then they will have to coordinate on everything. So for me, it's important also at this conference, I think more and more people realize we have to go beyond talking about ecosystem management of aquaculture. We have really to put it in place to implement it.
Well, that's what I was going to ask, is how receptive is the audience? Is there an awareness, a growing awareness of how this should develop?
Well, the thing is, everybody at the present time talk about, we need to integrate, we need to do an ecosystem approach to aquaculture, but not too many people turn the buzzwords into the practical application. And IMTA for me is really a possibility of doing it. Also, IMTA, if it is done at the right scale, can have a place and can work with, for example, marine protected areas. Yes. So as a matter of fact, how do we manage this whole coastal region? It's a busy place, but if we start to have a spot for marine protected area or spot, for example, for wind farm, which are mono activities, it will take a lot of space. So as a matter of fact, can we combine several activities? Can we do wind farm on integrated aquaculture? Can we do marine protection, conservation, but also aquaculture together?
And does this mean that stakeholders, there's more than just aquaculture involved in terms of stakeholders, and how difficult is that's going to be to manage?
Yes, because the coastal zone is a busy place, being aquaculture, being fisheries, recreationals. So there is many stakeholders with different interests, different objectives. But as a matter of fact, that's what we have to do. And for me, integrated multitrophic aquaculture is a real concrete case of integrated management, coastal management.
And are you getting a good response at the show this year?
Yes, I think it's progressing. It has been, it takes times. Also, people, when you do a conference in North America or when you do it in Europe, it's very much aquaculture equals salmon. But what I want also to that people realize there is much more than salmon aquaculture. Salmon aquaculture is something of the Western world, but worldwide, it's, as a matter of fact, a small proportion. So what do we do with the other aquaculture system? Can we learn from them to reapply them in North America, in Europe.
Well, thank you very much, Terry.
Yeah.
Readers of International Aquafeed will be familiar with Terry's column, but he writes every month for us on this very important subject. Terry, we look forward to developments in this area, but all the best with your presentations and your chairmanship tomorrow.
Thank you very much. It's always a pleasure to work with International Aquafeed. The collaboration, I really enjoy writing this column every month. It's a lot of work, but it's fun.
Yeah. Thank you very much, Terry. Thank you.